Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and I am back again with Troy. How's it going, dude?
Nice to see you again, man.
We need like a thing like.
I know you and Reggie have that fist bump thing, and like everything shakes. But can we have our own thing?
Could you pull my finger?
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah, I don't know if
nobody wants
that's
to see
not going to go over well at all.
So people might recognize Troy here from a previous video that we did covering vinyl records. We covered the Jack White.
That's right.
Vinyl record. Because you are a DJ in one of the most awesome radio stations in Seattle, that is KEXP.
Yes, KEXP. I'm on Saturdays from 3 to 6, or you might hear me filling in for some of the daytime people as well. But yeah, I've been there for 11 years now, which is kind of crazy to think about. But
and he used to work at one of my favorite local record stores. I wear their shirt a lot. I go there way too much because it hurts the wallet, but that is Easy Street Records, and
worked at Easy Street for a long time. I'm still affiliated with Easy Street, and Matt, the owner, I'm dear friends with, but yes, did a lot of time at Easy Street Records, so I've seen a lot of crazy records, and my collection is kind of insane. But you don't know what insane collections are like, do you?
I have no idea. I don't understand that
whatsoever.
So when it came time, so for a long time I've actually been threatening to do kind of like a semi-regularly music vinyl pickups video, and you know, I used to add those onto the end of the pickups video I would do to Reggie,
right?
But it just made them longer and longer and longer, and I always felt like, you know, the vinyl records, I want to put them on the end. Like, I love them. I love music as much, certainly as much as I love video games. People don't know that, but that's a reason why it's called Metal Jesus Rocks, because I play guitar, I love music, I listen to it all the time, so I wanted to do more on my channel.
Yeah.
And so I'm officially saying that we are going to be doing quarterly vinyl music pickups. Not just, we're not going to always do vinyl.
Right. It'll be other things too. I mean, it'll be vinyl heavy.
Yeah.
But also, you know, sometimes we find some kind of crazy obscure, you know, cassette tape or... who knows? Maybe even an 8-track.
I do have one 8-track. It's a Kiss, of course. No surprise.
It has to be.
It has to be Kiss, right?
Yeah. I think when I was growing up, my parents weren't super like music people.
Dude,
they had like 2 8-tracks, and I think it was like one of them was like Kenny Rogers.
8-track is the worst. For you young kids out there, please don't start. There is no reason to go back and collect 8-track. I'm sorry. It's a terrible format. It's designed for cars. I could go on a whole tangent here, but...
But is it going to come... Like, what if it becomes cool again? What if it does? You're trying to stop that from happening.
Cassettes are cool again, and I'm shocked.
They are. Yeah.
I'm shocked. I know.
I thought you were trying to high-five me there.
No. Well, did I totally deny you?
Cassettes are back, and I'm shocked.
Oh, yeah.
No.
That is so funny. All right, so Troy is going to help me do these videos because you are obviously a music guy, and we have in this video a bunch of pickups that we've done in the last couple months.
That's right. Yes, indeed. And
so do you want to start?
I do. So it's funny because how you and I kind of came together is you're primarily known as a video game person who loves music, where I'm primarily known as a music person who loves video games.
Right.
So this...
Two great tastes that taste great together.
They really do. So this unity was just born in heaven. Or hell. But, so this is what I wanted to show first since...
Dude, you brought these over. I was like...
Yes. There is...
I want to hold
you can hold them. So there is a label in London called Data Discs, or Data Discs, who get officially licensed video game soundtracks, and for the first time they are available on vinyl, and they do a great job with the packaging. So you can see here I have Streets of Rage, I have Shinobi here that I picked up at the Portland Retro Video Game Expo that we went to together, Panzer Dragoon, of course, and then there's another label I believe called Mondo, and they do the same thing. They just fantastic. You can see Contra 3 right here. They did Simon's Quest.
Dude, look at that cover.
Castlevania II and 10-inch vinyl.
Wow, that's
and beautiful
epic
cover as well. And Goldenaxe I and II are on the same record. So, and these aren't all of them. There's more. And believe me, I want them all. But I also like to have somewhat of a bank account.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I love these. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you for our pickup, music pickups.
You know, it's funny you show this because I've been tempted to buy some of those, but again, it's like, oh my god, like vinyl is coming vinyl releases are coming at every angle now. Like, you know what I mean? It's like I almost feel like I have to put up shields because like to be honest, like in my collection now, I only collect personally like rock and metal for that reason because I just don't have room for it anymore and my wallet can't sustain the damage.
Right.
So I'm really glad you picked those up because I said no to them. I'm like, no, I can't do it. You know?
They exist and you need to embrace them.
All right. Well, moving on, I'm going to show you some of my pickups here.
Yeah.
Recently, it was Record Store Day here in Seattle.
My favorite holiday, by the way.
By far.
Yeah.
Christmas, who cares? It's Record Store Day.
Record Store Day.
And Record Store Day, I mean, you're a big fan?
Big fan, and been a part of it for long. I actually got to see the beginnings of Record Store Day working at Easy Street for as long as I did. But Record Store Day started out as kind of a small idea to help small local record stores across the country, or small mom and pop record stores, because once the internet, started, it hurt record stores because people were just downloading things for free or listening to things for free. But there's still a ton of people that still see major significance in record stores and walking into one and seeing physical product. And so Record Store Day was started for independent record stores, and it's grown into this wonderful holiday. Yeah. And so they do limited releases. They make only 1,000 copies or 2,000 copies of certain things. And the artists that jump on board for Record Store Day is just unbelievable.
Oh, it's epic. It's like the Rolling Stones. Cool. It's Nine Inch Nails. It's David Bowie. It's
yes.
So
I'm so curious, like, what did you pick up for Record Store Day? Because you and I love this holiday so much.
Oh my god!
And like, what is Metal Jesus gonna get on Record Store Day?
Yeah, so I looked through the list and I was pleasantly surprised that there wasn't a ton of stuff. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff that I could have bought.
Sure.
But I was like, what do I absolutely need? There was 2 albums that I must own. Halestorm is a rock band that is pretty awesome. But they, every couple years, in between big releases, they put out these cover albums. So they call them Reanimated. I think that's what this is called, right? Yeah, Reanimated version 3.0 is what this is. Cool. So they've done 3 of them so far. They're little EPs, and they basically cover some of their favorite bands. And this is the 3rd one. It comes out on, this is a picture disc here.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
who do they cover out here?
Oh my god. So, Whitesnake, Still the Night.
Yes.
They also cover Joan Jett. They cover Soundgarden. They cover Metallica, Ride the Lightning.
Oh, man.
And what's great about these covers, again, Hailstorm's legit. In the past, they've done metal rockin' versions of Get Lucky from Daft Punk.
Oh, cool.
Like heavy versions of that.
Awesome.
They've covered Lady Gaga, they've covered Marilyn Manson, they've covered Skid Row.
Oh.
They did Slave to the Grind, and it's epic.
That song, I love Slave to the Grind.
Me too.
Not just the song, I love that album.
Oh, dude, Monkey Business, the song that comes after that, is amazing, isn't it? I know, totally killer.
Yeah.
So I had to get Halestorm, their cover, and then also too, I saw this, I was like, what? So, I know, so I am a huge old school Def Leppard fan. I just love them so much.
It was kind of the first thing that we talked about is our love for old school Def Leppard.
Old school Def Leppard. I mean, everything that they did up through Hysteria, I think, is brilliant. And it's always kind of bugged me that their very first release was never actually in stores. Essentially what it was is the Def Leppard EP, they released this on Record Store Day vinyl. And what this is actually their very first release that they put out when they were up and coming. And the story goes that Joe Elliott, the singer, and his mom manufactured them and would sell them out of their car. Yeah,
they were 7-inch, the originals. Okay. They put them on 12-inch for this, but yeah, just they recorded it themselves. I mean, with a friend. And,
sure.
And it was homemade. They even Xeroxed the insert.
Yeah, and in here it looks like it too, doesn't it?
I think it's the replica of the exact one. But
it's awesome, and specifically why I like this because the very first song is called "Ride Into the Sun." That is a great rockin' Def Leppard tune.
It's so good. How it didn't end up on an album blows my mind.
I know.
That song is fantastic. It's worth it just for that song, but I love the other 2 songs on here.
Yeah, and although, to be fair though, actually, they re-recorded Ride Into the Sun for a B-side of Hysteria.
Oh.
Yeah, so if you collect the 7-inch singles that they released for Hysteria,
I did not know
you get a new version of that with the whole Mutt Lange
How do I not know
shine
this?
on there.
I thought I knew everything.
Yeah.
I thought I knew all things Leopard.
Yeah, so I was pretty happy to get this.
That's really cool.
So Record Store Day. So what did you pick up on Record Store Day?
I picked that up, of course, as well.
Of course.
I was extremely excited about that. On Record Store Day, I had to, because it was a must.
By the way, we haven't shared what we each picked up, so I don't know what he picked up.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if you knew this, but they released a single for the song "Africa" by Toto.
I heard about this,
and the record is in the shape of. Take a guess. Africa. But the B-side is Rosanna.
Oh, well, dude.
So if
those are the two best songs.
Exactly.
This is the only thing you need from Toto.
Yeah. Actually, this was the only thing we should have shown in this video. I don't know why we...
You could just shut it
down now? All right.
Yeah.
So...
You know what? To be fair, I really dig those two songs. Like,
me too.
You know, actually, what's you probably know this, but the drummer for Toto is considered like one of the best pop drummers of all time.
Interesting, I didn't know that.
His groove, he actually has a patent, I believe, on the intro to one of, it's the one that starts off with a drum fill.
Okay. He has a patent on his own drum?
On that drum fill.
Wow.
Because what happened in the late 80s and early 90s when hip-hop bands were starting to sample drum loops, he was able to actually say, no, I was the first one to do that.
That's pretty cool.
He was pretty cool.
That's
actually.
amazing.
Yeah, so a little bit of Toto trivia for you.
Which everyone was waiting for.
Exactly.
So at least
that's why you tune in every week.
At least you delivered. Also on Record Store Day, you and I have a mutual love for this man.
Dude, so this year for Record Store Day, you could tell they went all out for Prince. I mean, rightfully so. So you know what's really interesting about Prince? Of course, he passed away last year, right? And you were able to find his records before. After he passed away, man, dude, all of his records, people, they were hard to find, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone all of a sudden is like, oh my God, I must have a copy of Purple Rain, or, every other one of his, 1999.
Totally. One of the best things that came about from that, though, is all the YouTube videos that got released. I mean, sure, there's probably some he didn't want released for, reasons unknown, but my gosh, they have just been so much fun to watch, because I've went from thinking he was brilliant to now I don't even have a word to describe him. So I'm just such a fan, and
I am too.
Yeah, so it's just a little picture disc. It's the songs. What is it? 1999 and
Little Red
Corvette. So
that's all you need.
You know what? Once again, we should have just shown this, and then we're done. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
so I almost picked that up.
So Record Store Day, so much fun, and we're only showing 4 of the many hundreds of releases that came out that day. But
I almost picked up the Rush one. I didn't need it, so I was like, no, I don't need Cygnus X1 or whatever it is again, But I was like, this close. All
right, what else you got for us here?
So an album I picked up recently. Have you heard of the doom metal band Khemmis?
No, but this album cover has got me so excited.
Dude, look at that album cover. So
it's amazing.
Yeah, so this is a doom metal band from Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
And so doom metal, I don't get really into like the subgenres very much, but basically doom metal is kind of like bands that are, at least it's my understanding, are bands that are influenced by that very first Black Sabbath album.
Of course.
Where it's slow, it's heavy, it's melodic, and that's what I love about this. This is a heavy album, man, but it also has melodies. It has great soaring, vocals. It's awesome.
This is fantastic. The artwork is incredible.
Yeah, and you notice in that actually the sleeve right there. So one of the things that I do with my vinyl records is a lot of these vinyl records will come with like just a white paper sleeve.
Yeah, what is this exactly?
Yeah, so what I do is I go and I buy these off of Amazon, and these are basically like really nice static resistant sleeves, and I replace those whenever I get them. And that's one of the things about collecting vinyl you'll learn, is that some people will put some money into the sleeves themselves and some people won't. So if that's the case, it's not a big deal. They're super cheap to buy. But anyways, a band called Chemists, Hunted. This is what I'm listening to every day for the past couple months.
Love it.
Very good album.
I need to check that out. I'm going to stay on the metal tip. And something that I recently picked up that also, a metal band that I love, they are from Portland, Oregon. And they are called Christian Mistress.
Okay.
You've never had a Christian Mistress before?
No, not really.
I know. It's interesting, I'll tell you. But no, this
Are they
band,
a Christian band?
No, that is
I'm sure they get that question every time they're interviewed.
Far from, or at least from these pictures, you can kind of tell that they are not a Christian band.
A lot of middle fingers and stuff,
There's some middle finger, a lot of beer, a lot of passing out.
Yeah.
these guys are the real deal. And another thing that you and I have a mutual love for is a lot of 80s metal.
Yeah.
And this band knows exactly where they're coming from and where 80s metal, they're tapped into whatever that is. Their guitar playing, her vocals, she has to be one of my...
Female vocalists.
And
sold.
she's one of my favorite front women of our time.
Really?
She's got an incredible voice. And so this is one of my current, even though they've been around for a few years, but Christian Mistress, one of my favorite current metal bands, and from the Pacific Northwest.
By the way, now's a perfect time to sort of talk about how, unfortunately, because of YouTube and copyright claims, we can't play the music in this video. It's just too hard to do with so much music, so many labels, stuff like that. But we are going to create a YouTube playlist to other people, and we'll link to that down below. So you'll be able to listen to this music and check it out. So
awesome.
All right, next up for me, Armored Saint.
Oh, yes.
Have you heard
now, what year is this? Wait, is this new Armored Saint?
It's, 2015.
Okay, so yes, latter day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, this is awesome.
Really?
Oh my god.
I forgot about Armored Saint after Jason Newsted left the band. Because didn't he play in Armored Saint? Oh, no, sorry. Not Jason Newsted. John Bush...
The singer.
The singer who ended up being the singer for Anthrax for a while.
He was on Sound of White Noise, which is amazing.
I love Sound of White Noise, but I missed Joey Belladonna when he left Anthrax.
Yeah, I know. There's two camps, right?
Yes. I was thinking of Flotsam Jetsam. No, Armored Saints, yes. I loved them when John Bush was the singer, but I do not know anything past that.
This album is a return. Just go by, listen to this. It's amazing. It's heavy, it's melodic, it's re-energized. Because when I put it on, I was like, whoa, like I was blown away. So yeah, this is by the way, the name of the album is called Win Hands Down. Just a total amazing rock album. The one thing I want to point out about this album though is something I don't like about it, and maybe you can relate to this.
Okay.
It's the double vinyl.
I'm not a big double vinyl fan at all.
I'm not either. And you know, when I first got back into collecting vinyl, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like they're kind of putting this extra space on the record to maybe make it a little bit more audiophile or whatever. In the end, it's a pain in the ass. Essentially what they're doing is they're taking a normal album and spreading it across four sides. And so each one is like 15 minutes long or something like that. You're constantly getting up, flipping it over, you know, it's
I only want to flip a record one time.
Exactly.
I only want to flip a record one time, and you should. Unless it's something like The Wall, like Pink Floyd's The Wall or something. Like if it's an album that can't fit onto one record,
that's
totally
because you're filling up all 22 minutes,
exactly.
right?
If there's if it's just one record, I just want to flip it once. I don't care about the deluxe, 180 gram and it's on 2 vinyl. Like, I just want to put the record on, flip it one time.
What I would like to see a band do is, if people like want to archive it or have the best quality, assuming that this is, just make both available. Make a version.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Just
for people who may like the 2 vinyl.
Sure. So that's my only complaint about this. But other than that, just go out and buy it. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Interestingly enough, and I like doing this without knowing what we're thinking, because this leads to moments like these. Because I had picked this up and I was very excited. Not that it's super hard to find, but I love Anthrax's Among the Living.
I had no idea you were going to do this. Among the Living. And this used to creep me out.
It's scary cover.
Isn't that weird?
I can't tell if it's like airbrushed or colored pencil or I don't know, but it's creepy looking. But I'm a huge 80s metal fan.
That's so funny. I had no idea you could do this. Dude, Among the Living, Caught in a Mosh. Oh my god, I love this song. Indians. Oh, dude.
And here's a little tidbit. When I was 14 or 15 years old, I actually shaved the word "not" in the back of my head.
Not!
N-O-T. Because, Scotty Ian, for some reason, was obsessed with the word "not," or the band was. I shaved it into the back of my head. And my parents have video of me at a piano recital, because my parents made me play piano, And I was at a piano, like very prestigious. It was Christmas time. I had my Christmas sweater on. And they're filming me from behind. And this says "not" in the back of my head. I can only imagine people because I'm from a small town in the Midwest. People must have been sitting there going, is your son okay? So,
Dude,
there you go.
That is so cool. No, you just found this?
Yeah. I was just flipping through, and I'm always trying to expand my metal collection, but I'm like you. I only collect things that I absolutely love, even when it comes to video games.
Yeah.
I only collect things I absolutely love. I'm not a completist. But Anthrax was one of those bands for me growing up, and I just did not have Among the Living. So.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. That's cool.
There you go.
All right, so a band that's completely the opposite of that. How familiar are you with Steel Panther?
Oh, lightly, but enough to know exactly. Oh my, you went all the way.
So Steel Panther released a new album called Lower the Bar. So Steel Panther, for those of you that don't know, there's Feel the Steel and All You Can Eat. Steel Panther are a joke hair metal band, essentially.
But they're very good at what they do.
But they're very good. Actually, they got their start as a Van Halen cover band called Atomic Punks.
Oh, right.
And we saw them actually play here in West Seattle at one of the bars that is no longer around.
These guys played in West Seattle?
Yes, and they were amazing. I know.
That's awesome.
So that's the thing about Steel Panther, is that they're completely silly. They're borderline stupid.
Yeah.
But they're so much fun. And so they put out a new album, and then Amazon was running a deal for all their albums. They're colored vinyl. You know, they're gatefold. They go all out. So
very cool.
Not for everybody, because you have to have a serious sense of humor and a pretty thick skin.
Sure.
Because they basically what their shtick is that all that sexual innuendo from the 80s that Whitesnake, Motley Crue, that kind of hinted about Rat.
Yeah.
They're just blatant about.
And but that's them sort of making fun of it.
Absolutely,
so,
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely they are. So
yeah.
I'm increasing my Steel Panther vinyl collection.
That's amazing, yeah. Another band kind of like that was The Darkness. You remember The Darkness?
Oh, yes, I know.
I loved them.
Yes, I know.
Because they had that 80s thing.
Yeah, although that singer, man. I mean,
he's fantastic. I actually saw them live.
Did you?
I saw him in Portland. They kind of blew my mind, and his voice is unbelievable.
Well, it's almost in the same register as Freddie Mercury.
Totally.
I mean, he could do Queen songs.
Unbelievable. And they have a song called Love on the Rocks with No Ice. I mean, that's just, it's brilliant.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're moving on here. So this is a story that starts very happy and then gets slightly sad.
The opposite of Steel Panther. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I found Motley Crue's Too Fast for Love, but
Classic.
This is not the Elektra Records version. This is before they were signed to Elektra, before they were signed to a major label.
Right.
They made this album on their own, and they would hand them out at shows and throw them out to the crowd, and they had their own label, which is kind of ahead of its time if you think about Leather Records.
With an umlaut.
Yes. Over leather.
You know it's 80s metal if it has an umlaut.
Yeah, exactly. Because that, now they mean business.
Yeah, no doubt.
Even their band name has those, right? So this is the Leather Records version of it. And what's cool about it is it got remixed after they got signed to Elektra Records.
Right.
Elektra Records wanted to smooth it out, and they wanted to kind of beef it up a bit, and so this is the original mix of Too Fast for Love, and it's more raw.
Oh,
and
I believe it.
I prefer this mix over the Elektra Records version.
I've heard that. Where did you get this?
Once again, just the years of working at Easy Street Records, and it came in. Now, here's the downfall. It was given to me for free, which seems awesome, but it is warped in such a way. You can see the warp.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, right here it goes up. And so the whole thing doesn't play perfectly.
I see.
I get to hear most of it.
Yeah.
But it's warped. And there's no way of really... I mean, I'm sure somebody out in internet world's like, no, you can fix a warped record like this. I don't think that there's a way to perfectly do it. If there is, please let me know.
Please let us know. Well, because I know this album is actually sought after by Motley Crue fans.
For sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
So it's not, but the hope is it's not terribly warped.
There's no like deep scratches or anything.
So
it's just literally
it is
just
possibly
slightly
doable, but yeah, I preferred the first mix of this record.
Dude, I'm jealous you got that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of really raw, old school metal, how familiar are you with The Accused?
Oh yes, a classic.
A classic. So The Accused is a old school Seattle. Would you call them hardcore punk?
I know. I was going to say they are one of those bands that bridge the gap between punk and hardcore.
Yeah.
There's elements of
I remember I saw these guys up in Everett, Washington, at a crappy sports bar.
What year are we talking?
Oh, probably 92 or something like that, 91. And it was a type of place too where In the corner, there was a bunch of broken furniture and dirt, and it was nasty. But these guys blew the socks off. I mean, I didn't know who they are. They thought they were amazing. I found this. Comes on yellow vinyl.
Beautiful.
Which is beautiful.
Love it.
Yeah, this is really cool. It's not for everybody. That often, his voice is completely out there.
Right.
Like it's kind of like nuts. But I remember that show fondly. So when I saw this in a store, I was like, oh my god, I have to own that. So
that's incredible.
Yeah.
That's so cool. All right.
Moving along.
We're gonna move on. I do have more metal. I'm just well, you know, this is kind of appropriate for the time since they are sort of rebooting this series, but this is the Twin Peaks soundtrack.
Oh, dude, look at that. That's really cool.
By Angelo Badalamenti, and the music of Twin Peaks is equally as beautiful as the original TV show.
Huh.
And so they put out this...
The packaging's beautiful.
Packaging's beautiful. What I love about it, too, is the vinyl, because everyone knows that in Twin Peaks, coffee is very popular, especially with Agent Dale Cooper. It's on coffee-colored vinyl.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And beautiful music, beautiful soundtrack. The new Twin Peaks, directed by David Lynch, coming out very soon.
Yeah.
And they also re-released Fire Walk With Me, same kind of packaging. So really getting this with Fire Walk With Me is kind of the ultimate way to go to get the reissued Twin Peaks soundtracks.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, that reminds me, on Record Store Day, I think they were selling the Blade Runner soundtrack, but
I saw that.
Yeah,
I really wanted that. I had to hold off. I don't know why, but it looked cool. It looked really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next up for me,
yeah.
I've been on an old school Priest kick because, quite honestly, like when I was growing up, I didn't really give much 70s Priest a listen.
Sure.
But lately I've been going back, and I picked up a couple of their albums.
Killer.
Hellbent for Leather and also Stained Glass. These came out the same year.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy? Like
Super
1978.
prolific. And for how technical and like how amazing they were.
Well,
how are they putting out 2 records in a year?
You know, Kiss did that for a while too. Like that was
Sure.
kind of a thing in the 70s. Like you would go into the studio, write an album, put it out there. If it didn't sell, the record studio's like, okay, get back in the studio. You know what I mean? So the first couple Kiss albums were like, 6 months apart or something.
Sure.
Crazy.
Sure.
So been going back and trying to find some old classic Judas Priest, Delivering the Goods, Hellbent for Leather, the Green Manalishi with the 2-pronged crown, classic on here. What else is on here? Beyond the Realms of Death. It just goes on and on.
They have such cool album titles and song titles.
And covers.
And covers.
I know.
Priest is amazing. I actually, believe it or not, I enjoy even 90s Priest. I grew up listening to Painkiller.
Oh, dude, you don't have to apologize. Painkiller is amazing.
I love it.
I mean, the lyrics are stupid, right?
Yeah, sure.
But,
yeah,
like, it's double kick madness.
That opening to the song Painkiller,
I know!
It's just like that drum, I've obsessed over it.
Yeah.
It actually almost made me want to quit playing music when I was a kid, because I started on the drums.
Yeah.
And then I heard the opening to Painkiller, and I'm like, I don't want to play drums anymore.
If that's the bar.
Yeah, then I'm here.
All right, so I only have one left.
Oh, you only have one left?
Yes.
Okay,
so if you have a couple...
So I shall ration. Well, this will be the moment where I have a gift for you.
Okay.
So as you also know, or we've talked about before, I also have a record label. With my friend Ben, we started a record label.
Yes.
And what we wanted to do was, and I've been in bands before too, and I've realized there's a lot of great bands in Seattle, but there's not a lot of people helping them out, get their music out there, press vinyl, and there's only a handful of labels. There's some great ones in Seattle, but we just thought, what if we started a label and just did sort of limited edition vinyl, colored vinyl, and press it up for these bands, and also do the whole full release. Get a PR company behind it. Let's do this. Let's. And we've been having a lot of fun. We're still very new, but we're on our 3rd release, and it's a band that I think that you would enjoy because it's dark, it's slightly evil.
Oh, yes.
Okay, actually, it's very evil.
Oh, really?
They are a band called Charms. And I love that their name does not represent at all.
Lucky Charms.
Their name does not represent at all what sounds this band makes. But
dude, that cover is cool.
That is yours, and it was pressed on blood red vinyl.
Really? See, and you know how to do a proper sleeve.
Exactly.
Look at that.
I love these kind of sleeves.
I love
And
these too.
You did the black sleeve. They didn't want their band name on the label, which
That's
is really
how evil
funny.
they are.
And you can't tell what's side A or side B. you have to go by a code that's on the back. So 01000001 is side A, and 01000010 is side B.
I think that's binary or something like that.
I think
right?
so too.
Wow.
And the album's called Human Error. So that is for you.
Wow, dude, I can't wait
And
to
it
listen
doesn't
to
come
this.
out until June 16th, so don't tell anybody that I gave it to you.
Huh, now I could play this on this video and maybe you'd be the copyright holder.
I'll tell you right now, you can play it if you want to.
Dude, that is so cool. Thank you so much.
Of course.
I love the finish too. It's kind of like a matte finish.
Yeah,
almost.
and these are very limited. Once we saw, we sold out of our previous limited edition colored vinyl, and they're gone. So they're very limited, and you are now the lucky owner.
Dude, and you have a couple other bands on your label too.
Yep. The Bread and Butter was the one that we just sold out of their yellow vinyl. There's still standard black available, and then a band called Acapulco Lips. And we still have a few of their purple vinyl left, and so and that just came out a year ago. So we're really new, but we're really having a lot of fun doing this. And
So I've always been kind of curious. So, like, you know, where do you get these records made? Is there a place in Seattle? Do you send them over to someplace in Europe?
We send them outside of. I think they're in Oregon only.
Okay.
Actually, I can't remember. Oregon or California, but they're called Pirates Press, and they do a fantastic job. Lots of people go through them, but there's a few great vinyl pressing companies in this
Kind of the area.
country. Yeah, exactly.
Huh, okay.
So what is your final?
My final one is a good one. This is a little bit of a hidden gem. It's a band called Acid.
Okay.
I
I know nothing about it.
I believe this came out in 1980. This is a reissue from a label called Wax Maniacs. So, Acid, dude...
They should have just called it Maniwax. Like, just cut out the... All right. So, Wax Maniacs.
Wax Maniacs.
All right.
Look at that logo, though. See, that's a pretty good logo.
That's killer. It's like Mr. Crowley or something.
So, Acid is this band that never really went anywhere. They're out of Belgium.
Oh.
Came out in 1980-ish. They're part of that new wave, you know, New wave of British heavy metal.
Yeah.
They sound like a cross between Venom and, say, Motorhead.
It's up my alley.
Female singer.
Love it.
And they have, this is actually, I wouldn't say it's amazing, but they have one amazing song on here. It's called Hell on Wheels.
Better be.
Fantastic song. We're going to link to it down in the description below. You got to check it out. But this is a great re-release here of this album that most people don't know about. It comes with a full interview. I mean, the record label that re-released this really went all in. You could tell that they were fans of this band and wanted to do them justice.
I'm already sold. This picture of her right here.
Oh, she's a badass, too.
I'm sold.
Yeah, she's a total badass. She's got that raspy, badass vocals.
Oh, my God.
It's awesome.
This is so up my alley.
Yeah, so I love that a lot of this stuff is coming out again on vinyl.
Yes.
As it's supposed to.
Yes.
And they're giving it that loving touch, you know, for people who kind of want to dig deeper into a band like this that never really got... I don't think they went anywhere.
And that's what I love about these labels, these reissue labels. They take a lot of great care in their releases, so they're packaged perfectly, high quality.
Yep.
They give you a ton of information.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah, so a band called Acid.
Love it. Actually, this is great because I'm going to stick in the exact same sort of theme.
All
now,
right.
this, I will say, this album I bought solely based on the album cover.
That's legit.
And I did see it was the 80s, and it looked metal to me. So if it's 80s and it's metal, I'm buying it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm not even going to check it out. Thankfully, this is one of those instances where I went home, did not know what the album was going to sound like, put it on, and I was blown away.
Okay.
And it's led me to buy their other albums, which have been fantastic.
Okay.
And also one of my favorite...
You went down the rabbit hole.
And one of my favorite female vocalists. And it is a band called Hellion.
Dude, look at that cover.
So that cover, I am completely...
Well, I would have bought this based on the cover, too. Hells yeah.
So if you take the record out of the sleeve there, you'll see... So
is this a new release? Look how pristine that is.
I know. It is not a re-release, although I have a feeling this will be one of those records that get the reissue treatment or whatever. But yeah, just wonderful 80s metal.
Really?
And fantastic vocals, players. I've bought 3 other of their albums, and all of them have been fantastic. So
look at that cover.
I couldn't recommend this album more.
Wow. All right. I'm jealous. That's cool. Did you find it at Easy Street, or where'd you find it?
I did. That was another Easy Street find. A lot of my finds are Easy Street finds.
Dude, so you're a competition. So what days do you go in there? And
I know, right?
avoid that?
Yeah. Well, actually, we should coordinate now. I get Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Like we're sharing, like a child.
Yes. Exactly.
That get really weird.
And I don't mean to cheat because you have no more left, and I'm not just bombarding you.
No, keep the metal going.
But this is another. Album that I love is an Exodus album. Impact is imminent.
Yes.
And then lastly, Diamond Head, who really is the main influence on Metallica.
Did this walk into Easy Street?
It did. And it's a promotional copy. It has the promotional stamp on the front. And Metallica covers Am I Evil? And that's the original version on there. So huge Metallica fan.
Yes.
And so any bands that I've read that have influenced Metallica, but this is one of the most bands that have influenced them.
Also,
Diamond Head.
That album cover.
Another one.
I mean, that could be like a sci-fi fantasy album.
I want to live inside of that album cover, or they need to make a video game that is this, and then you walk into that.
Wow, it's cool that you got some Exodus too. I know, I used to have a roommate who turned me on to Exodus. Basically, I think he had kind of like their greatest hits. Every single song I loved. Every single song.
Totally. Yeah. And there's just a big part of my childhood was that late 80s and early 90s metal is...
Kind of thrash metal.
Thrash metal is my childhood. If it was metal and it was from San Francisco from the late 80s or early 90s, I'm a fan.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
So there you go.
Well, there we go. There are some new vinyl pickups.
Yes.
I know. I'm so glad we did this.
I know. So glad we did this. And I had so much fun the first time, so thank you for having me back on. And I look forward to doing quarterly music pickups. Yeah. Be it vinyl, cassette, picture disc, weird things. Who knows?
He has an epic CD collection. Epic. I mean,
Which sounds sad at this day and age, but with the nature of my job being a radio DJ, we actually still use CDs.
Yeah.
So it helps me to have physical CDs. So we play from CDs, vinyl, laptops. We do at the station. We play from everything. So I do still have a massive CD collection.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, we'll have to cover that in the future too. That'd be awesome. So, does your label have a website?
Yeah, just killroomrecords.com, and you can order these limited edition vinyl. Even the standard black versions, we only print a certain amount of those as well. So everything is pretty limited. And killroomrecords.com.
And KEXP.org.
You can listen. Yeah, you can listen online. There's a iPhone and Android app you can listen to the station, and I'm on Saturdays in particular from 3 to 6 if you're ever listening. And now with the new home, you can come hang out at KEXP. We have a gathering space. You can wave at me through the glass when I'm on the air. People
tell you to play more Diamond Head.
It happens sometimes. People will actually. I've had people write down a request on a piece of paper and hold it up against the window. I've had people hold up their babies, and I'm like, hi, so it's a whole new experience.
I would be tempted to do something.
Yeah, you would press your naked butt against the window. I know exactly what you would do.
Play my ass.
Yeah. And then I just walk up to it. Okay, we won't go there.
Yeah, that'd be awkward. All right, guys, love to know if you are picking up any music lately as well, because there's so much out there. We'd love to know. And if you went to Record Store Day, please let me know what you picked up, and maybe even tweet a picture or two of what you got.
Yeah, I would love to know what other people got for Record Store Day.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Take care. So this is probably the longest music/vinyl records pickups video I've ever done on my channel, but I wanted to do it right because, again, music is a big part of my life, and also I get a lot of requests from you guys. You guys have been kind of asking, hey, where are the vinyl pickups that I used to do at the end of my videos with Reggie? But as the Reggie videos got longer and longer, I just felt like it was kind of getting tacked on, and I didn't really want it to get lost in there. There's so much great music out there, so much music coming out all the time, that I really like the idea of bringing on Troy, who obviously we have a great rapport together. He's just as passionate about this as I do. So love to know what you guys think. Please give this video a like and a thumbs up. Thanks a lot.